In today's world of social media, we see people flaunting their wealth or struggling in silence. But here's the truth. Keeping your financial status private can protect you in more ways than you might think. We'll dive into fascinating stories from around the world, explore insights from leaders and philosophers, and give you practical tips to keep your financial health in check. Let's get started. The power of keeping your wealth or struggles private. Throughout history, there are countless stories that remind us of the value of discretion, especially when it comes to money. In ancient Greek mythology, there's the story of King Midas. We all know about his infamous Midas touch that turned everything to gold. But the lesson here isn't just about greed, it's about the dangers of letting people know your financial situation. Midas became a target, and ultimately his wealth became a curse. Similarly, in Chinese folklore, there's a story about Yu Gong, an old man who decided to keep his wealth secret to avoid attracting envious neighbors. He lived modestly and avoided unnecessary attention, which protected his family for generations. The takeaway here is clear. Revealing too much about your financial status can expose you to risks, whether it's envy, exploitation, or even becoming a target for scams. Challenge: practice financial discretion. Here's your first challenge. For the next week, avoid discussing your financial status with anyone outside your inner circle. Pay attention to how this affects your conversations and relationships. Does it change how people treat you or the assumptions they make? Reflect on this and let us know in the comments. Why you should protect your financial status. Let's break it down. When you reveal your financial status, you give people information that they can use, sometimes against you. Whether you're well off or struggling, both extremes have consequences. For example, if people know you have money, they might ask for loans or favors, putting you in uncomfortable positions. On the flip side, if they know you're struggling, they might treat you differently, maybe even lose respect for you. In India, there's an old proverb: a full jug makes less noise than an empty one. It's a reminder that true wealth doesn't need to be broadcasted. The quieter you are about your financial status, the more power you hold over your own life. The legendary investor Warren Buffett once said, "You never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out." This metaphor reflects the importance of keeping your financial situation under wraps. When things get tough, those who have been discreet about their finances are less exposed to external pressures and can navigate rough waters more effectively. The psychological aspect: protecting your mental well-being. Now let's talk about the psychological side of things. Studies show that people who disclose their financial status, especially on social media, often experience higher levels of stress and anxiety. Whether it's fear of judgment or the pressure to maintain an image, disclosing your finances can take a toll on your mental health. Psychologist Dr. Elizabeth Dunn's research highlights that the more we share about our financial lives, the more we invite comparison. And as we all know, comparison is the thief of joy. Metaphor: the financial armor. Think of your financial status like a suit of armor. When you disclose too much, you leave parts of yourself exposed. But when you keep your finances private, you're fully protected. You choose when and how to reveal your situation, if ever. Cultural perspectives. Lessons from around the world. From different cultural perspectives, we learn that discretion is key to protecting not only wealth, but also personal safety and relationships. In African folklore, there's a story about Anansi the spider who teaches the lesson of keeping one's resources hidden. Anansi would often outsmart others by never revealing the true extent of his wealth, ensuring he wasn't taken advantage of. In Native American traditions, the concept of living in balance extends to all aspects of life, including wealth. The wisdom here is that flaunting material success can upset the balance of your community, bringing envy or exploitation your way. Even in modern times, the Japanese practice kenshin, a cultural value that emphasizes modesty and humility. In Japan, people are encouraged not to disclose their financial success, as doing so can lead to social isolation or an imbalance in relationships. Challenge: live modestly. Here's another challenge. For the next week, focus on modesty. Whether you're shopping, posting on social media, or having conversations with friends, refrain from flaunting your financial situation. Observe how this affects your relationships and personal peace. Protecting your relationships. Money has a way of complicating relationships. Whether it's family, friends, or colleagues, knowing too much about someone's finances can change the dynamic. In the classic fairy tale of the goose that laid the golden eggs, the farmer's greed led him to kill the goose that provided him with wealth, thinking he could get more from it. But in the end, his impatience and desire to reveal the secret cost him everything. Similarly, sharing your financial status can lead to envy, tension, and the destruction of relationships. Modern influencers like Gary Vaynerchuk often emphasize that wealth should never be the core of any relationship. Authentic connections are built on trust, respect, and shared experiences, not money. By keeping your financial status private, you ensure that your relationships remain genuine. Financial security in an unpredictable world. We live in a world where financial security is never guaranteed. Jobs come and go, markets fluctuate, and unexpected expenses arise. By not disclosing your financial status, you maintain flexibility and security in an unpredictable world. There's a well-known story from the Middle East about Aladdin, who gained immense wealth from a magical lamp. But Aladdin quickly realized that once people knew about his riches, they tried to take advantage of him. His story serves as a reminder that wealth, when exposed, can attract the wrong attention. Oprah Winfrey once said, "The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate." Notice she doesn't say to celebrate your wealth. Wealth is just one part of life, and it's something that doesn't need to be broadcasted. The way you think about money, whether with a scarcity or abundance mindset, plays a huge role in your financial well-being. People with a scarcity mindset often feel the need to reveal their financial struggles, seeking sympathy or validation. On the other hand, those with an abundance mindset understand that wealth is fluid, and they don't need external validation. Scientific research from psychologists like Carol Dweck, who coined the term growth mindset, shows that people who focus on growth rather than outward validation achieve more sustainable success, both financially and emotionally. Think of wealth like a river. When it flows naturally, it nourishes everything around it. But when you try to block it or flaunt it, you disturb the balance, leading to drought or floods. Let your wealth flow quietly and steadily, and you'll reap its benefits without causing disruption. Here's your final challenge. Spend a week practicing an abundance mindset. Every time you think about your finances, focus on what you do have rather than what you lack. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day, whether they're financial or not. Notice how this shift in mindset impacts your overall happiness. At the end of the day, financial privacy is about protecting yourself, your peace of mind, your relationships, and your future. Disclosing too much about your financial status, whether good or bad, opens the door to unnecessary complications and even risks. Like the many myths, legends, and stories from cultures around the world teach us, wealth isn't just about what's in your bank account. It's about your mental, emotional, and social well-being. So keep your finances private, stay humble, and you'll find that success comes more easily and with fewer complications. Now it's your turn. Have you ever had a situation where sharing your financial status complicated things? How do you keep your finances private, and has it made a difference in your relationships or mental peace? Let us know in the comments below. Let's create a community where we can all grow, both financially and personally. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.